Well, we got the subframe out and cutting it to take an inch out of it for relocating the steering rack. Whenever you have it apart, you want to make sure you notch out the holes, because otherwise when you go to bolt your subframe back in and bolt your steering rack back in, you won't be able to get a socket on your nut. So you got to notch these out with the grinder. Got the subframe cut in half, and basically just cut out the holes, which takes out about 1 inch and moves the steering rack. Is then relocated forward, and then that causes you to get more steering angle for more sideways drifting. More sideways, more better. So now all we got to do is just, that's where we took the inch out, and you just slide it forward. And you just tack it and flip it over and check to make sure everything's where it should be. Tack it on the other side and weld it up. It should be good to go. I'll probably weld underneath here and then just grind off the excess. Got it tacked. This is what I was talking about with notching that hole out so you can get a socket down in there. I might have to take a little bit of a die grinder and just grind that out a little bit. At least I can get in there to get a socket on that bolt. Since there's a gap in here, I just took some of the leftover metal and shoved it in there and welded it. Some of this metal that was right here. I got the whole subframe painted, but ran into a problem. To be able to get a socket on that, gotta make sure you might have to go in with a die grinder and ream it out a little bit. Just gotta go in and take that bottom edge off. Part of the steering rack relocation is you got to pull the steering shaft out and extend it by 1 inch. And you can see where it originally was. It was on that line right there. It was flush with this, so we pulled it out 1 inch. I just tack welded it. But to get it to come out, I had to take this punch, cut the shaft right there, and drive this punch down in there to push this spline shaft out about 1 inch. Now there's about a 3/4 of an inch that's actually inside of the inner shaft is inside of the outer shaft. And now we just gotta put this back in the car and maybe order a new one of these. Pretty hammered out.
I'm gonna put it all back together, make sure you use lots of anti-seize, otherwise you'll probably never get it apart again.
So we got our original 240SX front brake rotors, and then I've got the Q45 front brake rotors. You can see how they're bigger. But the problem is the Q45 was 5 lug and my 240 is 4 lug. So what you need to do is you need to find a bolt to stick in one of the holes, and then find where you're going to put the other 4 holes, and then take a 1/2 inch drill bit and then just use this as a template, and then drill the holes out, and it will save you a couple $100 versus buying the conversion rotors. Just make some yourself. The main thing you got to make sure is that the hub centric ring is the same and stays together. You could just run tape around it to keep it centered, but all I have is magnets right now, so that'll work. After you get your first hole drilled, then you're going to take another bolt, stick it in that hole. That'll just help kind of keep everything centered. Alright guys, we're here working on the drift car again. We're about to get it all put back together finally. Got new lower control arms put on. We cut the steering knuckle, moved it 1 inch in, then we relocated the steering rack, put it 1 inch forward, and I got some Q45 brake calipers we're putting on here with some Q45 rotors that I drilled out for 4 lug conversion. So I got the same KYB coilovers. We're gonna hopefully get this thing running today. We gotta put coolant in it yet, and then figure out what's wrong with our fans. This thing sat for almost 1.5 years already. That's the dash that I need to redo.